Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be checking in on the price action of Theta, as Theta continues to consolidate at much higher price levels. I'll also let you know how my first experience went posting on Theta TV. Alright you guys, let's get into it. Posting on Theta TV for the first time was a lot of fun, and it was quite easy to do. Pretty much self-explanatory for the most part, video uploaded quick, processed quickly, and I really like the video on demand service that they've added alongside their streaming. I mean, if Theta aspires to be the YouTube of the blockchain, it only makes sense to add video on demand, and I believe this creates just more opportunity for content creators, and the more opportunity, the more adoption. The more adoption, potentially the higher price levels for Theta token. So overall, I think it was a pretty darn good idea. And dropping down below to the comments here, I see some of you came over from YouTube to check it out, so thank you so much for that. And I even got some donations up here in T-Fuel, so thank you so much for that as well. Maca19, thank you. He donated 20 T-Fuel tokens. I very much appreciate that. And down here, David did as well, and he left a comment alongside it. Says, just came here from YouTube and left my first ever T-Fuel tip. Well, hey, that was my first tip I've ever received, so hey, a first for both of us. How bromantic is that around Valentine's Day? Without making that any more awkward, he says, I appreciate your videos, and I liked your quick, clean style, straight to the point, no time wasted. Well, thank you so much for that. He says, Theta token and T-Fuel is my lottery ticket. It's my biggest bag out of all my investments. Do you have any ballpark Theta predictions before end of year? I hear a lot of crazy stuff out there, anywhere from $20 to $100. Humor me. Well, thank you so much, David, for your question as well as your tip. And thank you as well, Maca19. I really appreciate that. And hopefully I'm pronouncing your guys' names correctly. Unfortunately, I do not have a crystal ball, so I feel that I can't responsibly say what I think Theta will trade at one day. Could it be $100, $20, $1,000? I mean, nobody knows that for sure. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me that Theta will be trading at $20 or perhaps even higher in the future, as Theta has been delivering on all the things they said they'd be delivering on. They appear to have a really good team. You know, the co-founder of YouTube is one of their advisors. I mean, overall, these things look really good to me. They've got a mainnet launch 3.0 coming up in the not too distant future. And if that goes without a hitch, then that's just another really bullish thing for Theta. The video on demand thing, I think, is a really good thing. So it's not unreasonable to think that Theta is going to trade at much higher price levels in the future, assuming the whole market continues in its bullish trajectory over time. For me personally, my trading strategy has always been just taking things level by level. When I put my money at risk, I look for a positive equity curve over time. I realize that sometimes I'll be wrong about my analysis, whether that's my fundamental analysis or my technical analysis. So the name of the game for me is to always let go of my losers sooner than later and let the winners run. For me personally, that's just been the winning strategy that has not only kept my capital safe over the years, but has given me that positive equity curve over time, keeping me, you know, as a winning trader and a winning investor. So I'm just going to stick to that. So with that all being said, thank you so much for your question. Let's get into the chart. Theta up on the daily chart. Starting off the analysis by toggling into the price action, I see that Theta continues to hold itself up quite well ever since breaking above this purple box liquid zone down below. Theta's also given me a few new areas of interest that I'll be paying attention to on this chart, which is noted by this purple box liquid zone right here that has a bottom side coming in at approximately $3.38 and a top side coming in at approximately $3.71. I've also added a couple horizontals to my chart, which is this one here at $3.17 and the one down below that coming in at $2.92. Dropping down to the RSI, see the RSI is under a little bit of sell pressure right now and seems to be forming a bit of a head and shoulders pattern. However, a pattern is not a pattern until it is confirmed as a pattern, and the trading day still has 4 hours remaining. If the RSI is able to confirm this as a pattern, then likely a test of the edge of the bull's control zone at the very least, and I see that the exponential moving average is also living in confluence with that at this time, so likely a bounce there. If the RSI is able to remain in the bull's control zone, I overall look at that as a point on the board for the bulls. Dropping down the stochastics getting a fresh cross to the downside and are leaving the exhaustion zone, but this does not look like a death sentence to me. It looks like perhaps some consolidation might be on the horizon. Now I remind myself what consolidation can look like for Theta. If I come back up here to the price action, you can see that the last time Theta offered up a liquid zone, it did ultimately come down and test the former liquid zone several times, noted by these candle bodies as well as these wicks. So if Theta is to have any similar behavior to that, then it could come down as low as $2.51 over time. time. But there'd be certain conditions that I'd need to see met along the way before I'd be confident that those downside targets would be initiated. First and foremost, I'd need to see a daily candle body closure below that horizontal at $3.17. It is also notable that the 10 simple moving average is rising quite fast, coming in around the $3 mark at the time of recording, and would likely play a little defense to the downside as well. However, if any daily candle bodies over time start happening below that 10 simple moving average, as well as this horizontal at 292, then likely a test of the 21 exponential moving average, which normally offers up a pretty good bounce. However, if those daily candle bodies start closing below the yellow 21, that's when I'd be looking for that test of the former liquid zone that is coming in at around that $2.50 mark. Now, if Theta decides to just keep on going here with continuation by getting a daily candle body closure inside the bottom side of this liquid zone, then likely a test of the top side of it. Of course, if it starts getting those daily candle body closures up above this liquid zone, confirming it as future support, that's when I think Theta will be ready for its next major pop to the upside. Overall, I do like these consolidations, the bullish reaccumulation that Theta likes to go through. I think it's overall very constructive for an asset to have breathing periods like that. I don't like to see things go up too fast, as they can typically come down much harder. And I don't like to see a good project take on the characteristics of a pump and dump. So overall, I'm okay with what's going on here. Maybe a little bit of patience. I mean, Theta did go through a few weeks of consolidation here, and looking left, it went through a couple months down here before it ultimately started its massive trend to the upside. So perhaps we need a little bit of patience. But at the end of the day, I don't really put a time limit on things. I look for those confirmation closures as my actionable signals to get a probability of what's to come. It's not a crystal ball, but it gives me a statistical advantage over the market. So things overall looking good for Theta. I do like how it's holding itself up after breaking out like this. I mean, sellers still have not stepped in any significant capacity. The whole market remains bullish at this point in time, and I don't see any reason for Theta to be taking any nosedives to the downside unless something was to happen to the overall market in general, like if Bitcoin was to dump or Ethereum was to dump or some kind of unforeseen black swan. But from a price action technical perspective, things are still looking good here, and we might just have to exercise our patience muscles along the way. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. I hope you're all doing very well out there, and this TA will now self-destruct.